this morning I'm joined by Pete Gordon, one of our sales agents. Morning, Pete.
G'day, Sam.
Let's have a bit of a chat about what's happening in the market and in the spring market that's soon going to be upon us.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, certainly spring is coming up. Days are getting longer. We really are getting to that point of the year where spring marketing campaigns are what people are talking about. Certainly buyers. Buyers are currently crying out for more listings to come onto the market. Been a little bit disappointed in the volume of supply in the last couple of weeks. This is sort of coming off the back of a winter where we really haven't seen such a low turnover, at least in the last few years. So last year wasn't a particularly big year in terms of transactions, but this year was down to almost half of what we saw last winter. So that's really had an impact, I think, on the demand. So buyers are really getting anxious. People want to move on with their lives, particularly buyers who are driven by by needing more space and growing families and that sort of thing. So,
and I think also buyers have come to understand that the market is the market. It's not going to be doing anything drastic either way for some period in time, so they just want to get on and find that new home and buy and sell property.
Yeah, spot on, Sam. There's certainly a lot more confidence. The interest rates have come back. People are seeing properties are still selling. We're seeing some great results. Average selling time has come back down. We're currently running at about 24 days over winter, which is a lot lower than you typically see. So it's been a really tight market, very little choice. Prices have been driven by the lack of supply and buyers are crying out for more stock. This time of year, coming into spring, the window now to be on the market and sold before the September-October school holidays is now pretty well closed. So the next few weeks are likely still to be tight, but then I think from that sort of October 13th through to the end of November is likely to be pretty busy. And Sam, you've had an absolute cracker this last month. You've had some terrific sales, so why don't you talk us through a couple of those ones?
Sure. Look, I think that what you just said, Pete's absolutely right. There's no denying that as soon as a new listing comes to the market, because there is so little stock around, we're seeing increased numbers at open homes, which is fantastic. 48 Waterview Street that I sold last week, a really good result. Again, an indication of we met the bar in the first week. The property was positioned correctly in terms of price. Therefore, we were able to engage with the market, put offers on the table and also execute a sale relatively quickly. Again, in the higher sector of the market, the premium end of the market, we're seeing some really good results and a lot of local people seeing a really good sort of opportunity to make that upgrade.
So recently, I think you sold one particularly big property, which was, I'd say, probably the highest price sale in the area. How did that sort of flow-on effect happen?
So the person, the party that actually purchased that property, we then subsequently sold their property, which was for a little bit under 3 million, and then we subsequently sold the party that purchased that property, and they're all local families. So it's really great to have that sort of local internal activity, and I think it's a lot of local parties that are certainly seeing the value for more of the premium end stock.
Most of these families are pretty well entrenched in the local area, kids in the local schools and what have you. They've been here, they've formed their sort of networks here,
Absolutely.
Crying out to stay in the area, and I guess the bigger properties don't come up all that often.
Definitely.
So when they do, the locals recognise the value and they're out there to get on board.
The opportunity to secure it, definitely.
Absolutely.
Predictions, Pete, what do you foresee for the market moving forward?
We're getting down to the business end of the year, really. We're going to be looking at, I think it's the 13th of October, it's probably going to be the next big weekend of new listings hitting the market, which will then obviously translate to November. So I think it's the middle of November. There's probably 3 Saturdays there, which will be pretty big, high volume auction weekends.
And it's interesting, even in the past, we've always, it's a time of year where there are a number of sales. That sort of late November, early December, you can often see a lot of transactions taking place because people just want to secure something before they either head on a break or have Christmas.
Exactly right. So yeah, my best advice would be just not to wait too long. The speed at which this year's already going by, Christmas will be on us really quickly. Don't let your sale campaign run into sort of December if you can avoid it. Buyers will tend to switch off and start thinking about Christmas and holidays and work commitments and what have you.
And we've obviously we're coming into our very busy season for a lot of our community activities. We've got the Balmain Art and Craft Show and the Regatta, and so lots of things in the pipeline.
That's right, Sam. We're supporting just about every major, Balmain, Rozelle, Lilyfield type community event this year. So we've really got on board with those community events, and coming through to this time of year, that's when we see most of the big ones. One I'm particularly involved in myself is Balmain and Rozelle Family Fun Day,
yes,
which was a new event. We had the first day last year. It was terrific. We had over, I think it was 3,000 or 4,000 people there. Raised more than $50,000. With all the proceeds go to the Children's Cancer Institute. One of the things that I did last year, and I'll be doing it again this year, I actually auctioned off a commission-free sale. So what I do is I basically donate my services to sell someone's property. They then bid for those services. So last year, there was 3 or 4 people bidding it. We sold my services essentially for $12,000. For the people who bought it though, would have had I actually charged them my standard fee to sell for them, would have been about $34,000 sale. So they saved close to 20 grand, or around $20,000. It was tax deductible. It was great. We got a terrific outcome for them in the sale. And yeah, really good feel-good event. So if you're interested in selling in the next 6 or 9 months, just give me a call. We'll talk about how to register. I think it's a great opportunity. So
sounds good.
Something we're excited about.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much for joining us today, and we'll look forward to seeing you out and about.
Thank you.